Hi there. It's been a while. I normally don't know where I should stand on the whole, should I recap or tell my audience where I've been if I've basically been away a long time or whatever. I never know if people actually want to hear about that or whether they just want to, want me to jump into the content or what have you. But I was away for a considerably long time, so I'm thinking, yeah, maybe it's a good time to it's time to talk about it. And then again, if this isn't your thing and you don't really give a shit, you can wait till my next video, skip this video, wait till my next video comes out, and just enjoy my regular good old Emily content. But if on the off chance you give a shit, stay tuned. Yeah, I didn't just take a break or anything. I wasn't just palling around. I've been gone for a really long time, and it wasn't fun, and it wasn't because I didn't want to be here. I basically... See, this is the part where talking about stuff on the internet, you almost hesitate to say anything because there's always this voice in the back of your head that's like telling you that, oh, people are gonna assume that you're exaggerating or being extra or just trying to get attention. But, I don't know how else to describe it, but I basically, around late fall, early winter of last year, I kind of had a mental breakdown and I hibernated for the majority of the winter. And I don't mean that in like a fun, I just stayed in and didn't do anything way. I mean that I rarely left the house. I didn't get out of bed. My apartment was full of garbage. I just physically was disgusting. I looked like, when my family finally registered that something was wrong and saw me in person, I looked like someone who came out of solitary confinement. Those prisoners that you hear that they forgot about in solitary confinement and then they let out. My fingernails were like freakishly long because I hadn't done anything. And I'm a crafter in general, and I'm always doing things, so that is weird for me and my personality in general. But like, because I hadn't been doing anything or paying attention to my hygiene or anything, my nails were freakishly long. My hair was like matted and freakishly dead, and my skin looked like pallid and frightening, and it just was terrible. I mean, the only thing I got out of bed to do was probably take care of my cat, and it was just, I don't know, it's just sad and scary. And of course the last thing on my mind was making YouTube videos and stuff like that, because like, what kind of emotional headspace was I gonna be in for that? I couldn't just go on camera and be like light and fluffy. I'm really sorry if this isn't the same perky Emily or whatever, but even when I started to get out of it, I mean, I didn't even have a choice necessarily to pull myself out of that depressive state. I more or less had to put both my tits in my bra and go out and do like my life, because I've mentioned this before, I live in a shore town, and the work is in the summer. Like, that's when the fucking work is, in the spring and the summer. That's when you gotta go make your money. I basically had to go out and I had to go work, or else I knew I would have nowhere to fucking live. And it didn't help me feel less depressed, but it definitely made me get up and move. But in relation to that in my YouTube channel, the longer I was away, the more I felt like I couldn't go back. I just kept feeling all these dark phobias of like, oh, you weren't even good at it anyway, nobody even cares, like, it's too late now, and it just felt like, and even then I kind of like built it up in my mind that working on these YouTube videos was so much more work than I think it really was. Because, I mean, it's some work to like sit here and talk about things and research some of the things when I do some of the things that require research, but it really, it isn't like running a marathon or anything, but I in my head had like built it to be this huge task that even at the end of the day wouldn't pay off when I did it. And it just became a mountain out of a molehill is the only thing I can use to compare it to. So yeah, I just felt so small compared to it. And the only reason that I'm telling the internet any of this is not only to explain to people who liked my channel and thought like, oh, did this bitch quit? Like, no, I didn't quit, I just kind of fell apart. But I also, sometimes I do believe in talking about mental health stuff to an extent that you should be comfortable, but I think that it's important to be open about mental health discussion, because it's something that happens to a lot of people, and it is something that a lot of people go through. And I think that what I'm describing, I'm sure there's people out there who feel like it's just them who goes through this, just them who feels like not getting out of bed for like 2-3 months is something that is solely an experience that happens to them. And it's not. You're not alone. And there is help out there for you. And clearly, it is something that you can survive. I mean, I survived it. You know, there are days where, you know, I didn't want to survive it, but I did. So it isn't an impossible task. It is possible. You can do it. I will not do it in the Rob Schneider voice, you can't make me. So that's basically all I wanted to say in this video, was that I have not quit. I just took a bit of an extended mental health detour. I do intend to come back to YouTube and upload twice a week like I have been doing. And also, I mean, I do want to try to make my content a little more organic. I feel a lot like my content in the past, I felt like I was very stiff. And I don't like that. I don't like coming across as stiff on camera. It feels very overproduced to me. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. Like this video if you like it, subscribe if that's your thing, and I'm back.